In a sleepy town named Ravensbrook, a quaint antique shop sat nestled among modern buildings, like a relic from a forgotten era. Its windows were often fogged up and covered in a thin layer of dust, making the treasures inside a mystery to passers-by. The owner, an old man named Mr. Grayson, was known to be a collector of rare and unusual items. One afternoon, a young woman named Eliza entered the shop, seeking a unique gift for her niece's birthday. As she browsed, her eyes landed on a beautifully crafted porcelain doll, sitting in a dimly lit corner of the shop. The doll had raven black hair, piercing blue eyes, and a white lace dress that seemed to shimmer in the faint light. Eliza was instantly drawn to it. "How much for the doll?" she inquired. Mr. Grayson looked over and hesitated for a moment. "That one? She's not for sale. She has a history." Intrigued, Eliza pressed on. "What kind of history?" The old man sighed, looking troubled. "Many years ago, a girl named Lillian received that doll as a gift. She loved it dearly, treated it like a real person. But then, strange things began to happen. Objects moved on their own, whispers filled the night, and the doll was often found in places it wasn't left." Eliza shuddered but felt a strange urge to possess the doll. She made an offer, higher than any reasonable price for a doll. Seeing her determination, Mr. Grayson reluctantly agreed. That evening, as Eliza prepared the doll as a gift, she noticed a tiny stitched inscription on its dress, "To Lillian, forever yours." Thinking nothing of it, Eliza gifted the doll to her niece, Mia. A few days later, Eliza visited her sister's house. Mia was playing with the doll, holding tea parties and whispered conversations. But Eliza noticed that Mia's once vibrant room now seemed cold, with shadows that felt a little too alive. That night, Eliza received a frantic call from her sister. Mia had gone missing. The only thing out of place in her room was the doll, seated at the center of her bed, staring out with its unblinking blue eyes. The search for Mia lasted days, then weeks. There was no trace of her. Desperate, Eliza returned to Mr. Grayson's shop. The shop was empty, save for Mr. Grayson, who sat in a chair, his face pale. Eliza demanded to know more about the doll, but the old man just shook his head. "I warned you," he whispered. Then, behind him, Eliza noticed a photograph. It was a black and white image of a young girl holding the porcelain doll. The inscription read, "Lillian, 1893. She gasped, "This is from over a century ago. How is this possible?" Mr. Grayson looked at her with tear-filled eyes. "That doll. It seeks companionship. Once you give it away, it takes the one it's gifted to." Eliza was horrified. She raced home, clutching the doll. She decided she would get rid of it. Bury it, burn it, anything to break its spell. Late at night, as she prepared to burn the doll, she heard a soft whisper, "Forever yours." Turning around, she saw Mia, standing there, looking dazed and pale. Overjoyed, Eliza ran to embrace her niece, but as she did, Mia vanished, leaving only the cold porcelain doll in her arms. The next day, Eliza returned to the antique shop. But where it once stood, there was only an empty lot. Locals claimed there had been no shop there for decades. Eliza was left with more questions than answers. But one thing she knew, she would never part with the doll again. Years passed, and Eliza grew old, always keeping the doll by her side. And then, on a cold winter night, Eliza passed away. Her belongings were sold at an estate sale, where a beautiful porcelain doll with raven black hair and piercing blue eyes caught the attention of a young man, looking for a gift for his daughter. The doll continues its journey, seeking eternal companionship, with tales of Ravensbrook whispered as legends, where endings are unpredictable and past merges with the present.